Czechoslovakia is a nation which is often hated on account of its lackluster focus tree, and I don't really know why, to be honest. I'm not super experienced with Hearts of Iron 4, as was demonstrated with my recent Canada video, however I'm striving to enjoy the game. One thing I do enjoy is taking nations down rare paths and trying to achieve great things with a small nation. Czechoslovakia is honestly a pretty strong country, with their only weakness being that they are in the sightlines of the Germans. You can really hold that against them? Regardless, I've got a plan today for the unfortunate Czechoslovaks, and that's to just do whatever Germany wants, and in return, manipulate the Axis into victory, despite their best efforts. I'm going in blind here, having only ever played Czechoslovakia a long time ago, and only following the democratic paths for them. I haven't tried the fascist appeasement path, and I'm curious to see if it's any fun. By the way, before we start, I'm going to mention that in the Canadian video, I did pure live commentary, and that was cool and all, but for this video, I want to try a hybrid style. That means there will be live commentary of me playing the game, going through my thought processes and strategies, but at times, post-commentary Tarkus, that's me, will step in and expand on what live commentary Tarkus was talking about. I hope that makes the video even more enjoyable. I don't know how I'm supposed to play Czechoslovakia, because I've only played them a couple times in the past, and usually it was just me kind of like holding out in the forts in the Sudetenland until the Allies saved me. That was usually what I was doing back in the day. But nonetheless, I'm going to try a different path. We're going to go for the German satellite focus, because it says here that you get bonuses to licensing German technology. I don't know what that means, but, you know, we can try that out and see how it goes. One idea I kind of had in mind is that as Czechoslovakia, you can actually release Ukraine. And one thing we could do is we could release Ukraine as a puppet and then like feed them Soviet Union land by helping the Germans win the war. That is a thing we could do, but I'm not sure. We'll see what we end up doing. Regardless, in terms of strategy, the plan is more or less to go in with no plan and just work towards German satellite and see what happens. So let's get right into that. To start, I think we probably want to just go straight for that focus. We want to get it done as soon as we can, basically. Let's do that. The big requirement is that we need 250,000 manpower in divisions. So to get that to happen, we're probably going to have to raise our conscription and make a bunch of really small units and then eventually upgrade them later. For a build, I mean, I'm probably just going to go relatively simple, like light tanks, so we can just drive through Russia. We'll see what we end up doing. I'm going to start with infrastructure in our most important states like these, and then we'll start with civilian factories in there once the infrastructure is done. For military factories, we probably don't need to put any more on guns because we'll have plenty of guns. We have these light tanks. Are these any good? Let's instead start making just some artillery and some trucks. This is kind of the main thing that you're going to need for most builds, I'd say. We're probably going to put one civilian train on because we're going to want a couple civilian trains, but not a whole lot. And then maybe we go down to like one tank, or I make our own tank later. And let's get like one more factory on artillery, one more on trucks. We're obviously lacking materials, but it is what it is. We'll have to just live with that. For tech, we'll go for the relatively basic electronic stuff, industry stuff. You know how it is. And for our units, let's just put them... I don't know, we'll just put them here. Let's unpause. Here we go. So considering that we're not going to be fighting the Germans, we're going to be just kind of siding with them, we probably can, you know, sort of focus on industry more than getting the bare minimum troops out to defend ourselves. You have to kind of rush your production so that you can try to fend off the Germans. But if we're going to be chilling and joining the Germans, we don't have to worry about it as much, which makes this run a little bit easier. I have, in the past, a long time ago, successfully played as Czechoslovakia and capitulated the Germans with the help of France. Because what you can do is you can play as Czechoslovakia, refuse to give up the Sudetenland, and then the Allies will come to help you eventually. Not right away, you have to wait till Germany invades Poland, but they will come to help you eventually, and then they can kind of win for you. And you can actually get a lot of participation, because you'll be the one that was defending in the Sudetenland for so long, and you get a lot of casualties. But here comes the first focus, evaluating the political climate. And after that, we can go for Empower the National Fascist League. Let's see what advisors we have. Again, I'm going in pretty blind here, so I don't actually know what we have, but these don't look very useful right now. I think instead we probably just mobilize, to be honest. That sounds good. In terms of tech as well, I guess we're going to keep going down the research speed option, but eventually I was thinking about my build. I really don't want to just do like the basic infantry with artillery plus some light tanks. I want to kind of get a little more creative, because I like to be creative in this game. So we might try something kind of weird, but I don't know what exactly we can even do that would be weird. We could do like heavy tanks or something like that and just like slam some steel down the Carpathian plains when we get the focuses to conquer like Hungary and stuff. But I don't know. It feels like light tanks are just really, really good because they're so maneuverable, so you can get encirclements. But at the same time, we could also go like just something that's less effective but still more fun anyway. It could always be a good option. There's empower the National Fascist League. And from there, I think we probably start working towards our industry focuses. We want to get down to united population to fix our stability issues, so we're going to do that. I think now we can get the fascist demagogue. We sure can. Konrad Heinlein. That'll help us with getting more popularity for our fascists, which will let us become friends with Germany. Next focus after Great Industrial Legacy, I'm just going to rush for united population. I don't understand why you would ever go down this path. I guess you get a lot of factories, but then you end up keeping the divided nation spirit, which is horrible, so we don't really want to do that. Maybe there are other ways to get rid of it that I don't see in here. I see, so you can do Czech socialism as one way. I guess maybe, is there a way in the fascist path? Oh, I see. Czech consolidation would do it. So we could choose to get these civilian factories and not go down this path to get rid of divided nation, but then we couldn't take national fascism, which seems to be pretty good. Interesting, Czech consolidation will lead to civil war. Okay. Oh, I see, so it's like we can kind of leave the Slovaks behind with this focus, which will fix the divided nation by just getting rid of the other side, but then we get this modifier which has negative recruitable population, or we can already unite the people, so we have to get rid of divided nation, and then we can do this. Also interesting, a 105-day focus. That feels very rare. How often do you see that, eh? 105-day focus? That's like never happened in the history of ever. So we'll go for the united population down here, and then go for national fascism over here, because I kind of prefer not to have a civil war. Also, I'm going to hire the military staff guy pretty soon, but I kind of want to get this genius army morale guy. Getting less out of supply penalty, I don't even know if that's useful, but I like that he's a genius because he gives more army XP that way, so we're going to wait for the political power to get him. If we do German satellite, I wonder if we can avoid giving away the Sudetenland. Because when Germany demands it, presumably, they will still do the focus to demand Sudetenland off me, but if I already am a satellite, will they still ask for it? You know, it'd be kind of funny, but we could just rush for the 1941 light tank. It would take 1,000 days, but we get it before 1941. I think I'm just so light tank pilled because I've been playing a lot of Canada lately, and they get a focus that lets them get the 1941 tank super early. I think instead, maybe we just go for like a basic medium tank build. We could also keep it infantry oriented and maybe just go for artillery and maybe like artillery plus anti-air, and then just kind of march slowly across the Soviet Union. Because the Germans will have tanks, right? But I want tanks. I like having tanks. Tanks are fun. So how about we go with it? We're going to rush for the 1938 medium so we can start making them. We even have a medium tank designer, so we should do it. An interesting conundrum for nations like Czechoslovakia that face imminent war is that your options for builds are very limited. Sure, I can go for medium tanks like I'm trying here, but the time it'll take to build up their production efficiency to make enough mediums to actually use them will nearly guarantee that I will have equipment shortages. For nations like Czechoslovakia, you're kind of innately biased towards whatever equipment you're already producing because of the already present production efficiency. Just something to think about. I think with our next set of political power, we're going to want to raise our conscription, and then we're going to have to really rush towards getting a lot of manpower in the field. The best way to do that is probably going to be just to make a bunch of really small cavalry brigades, because that's just going to throw manpower onto the field at little equipment cost. Local specialization gets us more civilian factories. Very cool. We have to get 35% support for the fascists through this focus, which will help us get even more support for the fascists. We should get that right in time for when we get united population. At least I hope so. Peace united population. Hopefully by the time we pass that, we'll be at 30%, or is it 35? 35. It should end up working out almost, because it's, if you're getting 0.05 per day, that means 20 days per 1%. We have to get, what, 6.5%? So it's probably going to be this focus plus one more focus, then we can get the Czech fascism. In which case, we'll probably just grab, like, I don't know, we don't need fortification studies as much, because we're going to be being friends with the Germans, so we don't have to worry about our forts. But we can maybe just grab, like, strategic decisions for some free political power. Base united population, and I think we're going to go for the army experience. I think that'd be kind of nice, so we're going to grab this, Military Technical Institute. And then after that, we'll go for the tank. I'm going to train up some of these horse brigades, because we just need to like get manpower in the field. Unfortunately, we're missing a lot of guns, but we're working on that, right? We probably should get started making some military factories, to be honest, because we kind of, I see I've already queued them up. Okay, I'm being smart, but we're kind of hitting the point now where we're going to start wanting to make sure that we have enough men in the field to actually be able to take the German satellite focus. I'm genuinely curious, okay? Anyone that's watching this, whoever you are, have you seen anyone else ever do the German satellite focus? Like, is this a path that anyone does? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't really watch a lot of Hoi 4 content, so it's hard for me to say with confidence whether or not something's been done or not been done. I think there's a lot of focus on big countries in the Hoi 4 content creation sphere, which isn't unfounded. People love playing Germany, love playing big empires. People love to see a dominant game, or they love to see a daring nation overcome its enemies spectacularly. Where's the love for the minor powers that know their place though, eh? I'll also say that small nations, like the ones that I play, are really good for learning, since you're able to focus in on a few divisions and really understand how their stats interact with the battles they end up in, as well as being able to more easily track how much stuff you're producing. Sometimes, the lessons of a playthrough can be lost in the size of a large country. I'm not going to really bother explaining the historical outcomes. We have historical focuses on, of course, so yes, the war in China and Japan is happening. I don't really have anything to say about it, though, because we're probably not going to be paying much attention to this part of the world, but yeah, it's going as normal. I've been thinking about turning off historical focuses here and there. I definitely like to do it when I'm playing offline, but for the purpose of a YouTube video, it feels like it's nice to have historical focus on so people can kind of have their experience of the video based somewhat in familiarity. If you look at our manpower number, it looks like we have 256,000 manpower that's combined in the field and in training, which means I believe that we have enough for the focus. I think it's 250,000 for the German satellite focus. Yes, so once all these current units are trained, then we'll have enough to be able to join the Germans. Now, I don't really like these cavalry brigades, but we're just using them to get manpower in the field, so we'll edit them later. There's our medium tank chassis. I want to make mediums like almost right away, but at the same time, we don't have a lot of industrial capacity right now. So I think we have to first focus on getting our manpower out, finishing up our important focuses, and then we can look into other things. Here comes Czech fascism. It gives us a surprisingly small amount of fascism support, if only because it's scaled based on the popularity, so that kind of sucks. But now we can do some other focuses. This gives a infantry equipment production cost reduction, which is kind of nice. And this gives a medium tank production cost reduction. Okay. We get a research slot down here, but we have to do a lot of focuses to get there. This is something which, you know, there's a lot of we have to do there, so I don't know about that. I think we do go down the exports focus. So we go down here, we try to start working on our mediums. I think we do have to make a move. We have to start making medium tanks. We can't just sit around. We probably can only make like 1 or 2 actual units. Like if we're gonna make a tank unit, we're not able to make very many. But let's see what we can do. I've already got the improved small cannon, which I think is pretty good. It does cost quite a bit of production, so maybe we want to go with something a little bit weaker. If we're going to be fighting guys like the Hungarians and Romanians, they don't have a lot of armor, so it could be reasonable to just grab something like with high soft attack, like the automatic cannon. The heavy machine gun has like almost no... It's like super low production cost, so we could go something like that. It feels so bad to only have 2 hard attack, though. Part of me wants to put on at least the small cannon. The improved small cannon is so much better, but so much more expensive. I can't help it. I can't help myself. I have to make a good tank. I have so much trouble making shitty tanks, even if it's a good idea for the purpose of getting production costs down. I think we're going to go with the Christie suspension, and we'll put some engine upgrades. We'll go to like 7.4 kilometers. We'll pair this with some trucks. The reliability is a little bit low, so I think I will grab the wet ammunition storage. That puts us at 9 production costs. That is kind of high, but I think it'll be okay. Let's maybe drop some of the engine. I want to get like 80% reliability. That sounds good. Cool. We'll save this. So we're going to need like a lot of these probably. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of military factories, but we're working on that. Let's just stop making the light tanks because I don't intend to really use light tanks. We're going to go mediums. And let's get rid of the civilian trains. Sounds good. We are working on military factories now, so we should be able to hopefully make enough military factories to actually get going here. And the Germans might be coming for me pretty soon, so we gotta hopefully hurry up here. I'm worried that we're not gonna make it 60% support. Maybe if we go strategic decision is German appeasement, that'll get us 10%. So what we do is maybe wait till we're at 50, and then we go for the German appeasement, but we don't deliver Sudetenland. I don't want to give up Sudetenland if I can avoid it. So we'll go this, like these two, and then that should boost us up to 60%, so we can do national fascism, and then we get German satellite in 35 days. Hopefully. There's strategic decisions. Before I take the 10% bonus, I want to wait until we're at 50%, so we can jump right to 60. So I'm not going to take German appeasement yet. I'm instead going to take maybe like... Interesting, we could do Czechoslovak Legion and go send volunteers to Spain, but I think I'm good. I think instead we're going to grab export subsidies to reduce the cost of infantry equipment. Also, the Spanish Civil War already ended, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I guess I could have sent volunteers to like Japan, but no, we're not going to do that. We almost have caught up on our gun deficit, which is wonderful. We have 230 tanks in the stockpile. Nice. We have 1,000 total artillery, 1,000 trucks. We're almost done making these cavalry brigades. Our independence has been guaranteed, but also we're being fabricated on. That's not good. Germany looks like Germany's coming for me. They don't like that. We're kind of running out of time. It's not good. Maybe we should have, we probably should have opened up political discourse and then just like discredit the government, right? That probably would have been smart. The problem is that their focus is going to be done pretty soon. So maybe we have to do a quick restart. If we have to do that, that would kind of suck. Because a lot of wasted time, but it's okay. 35 minutes of my life that I won't get back if we have to restart. Yeah, so I think that the answer is that we should have been discrediting our government earlier. That would have been how we got more fascism support faster. So that's my bad. I am at least happy with our productivity. We did manage to get lots of extra guns. We could probably even focus on getting more artillery. But I believe we're going to die to the Germans when they try to take Sudetenland. I could just give up Sudetenland. The problem is that I don't really want to do that because it has a lot of factories in it. To be fair, it is mostly civs, so maybe we actually can give it up. Let me see what the country looks like, because we can afford to get rid of the civilian factories. It's the military factories we don't want to give up, right? When the Munich Conference came in, I knew I was screwed, but I decided that I'd rather keep playing a little bit further just to get an idea of how the run might go as a protectorate of the Germans. After all, we might lose the Sudetenland, but we can always gain new land in Poland and the Balkans potentially to replace the industry that we've lost to the Germans. Let's keep going anyway, despite the tragedy of losing the Sudetenland, because maybe it can still be fun anyway. We do have enough manpower now to get German satellite. We could go for a valuable German partner, which honestly we're right on the cusp of it, so we might as well, but I do kind of want to see what it means by getting the bonuses to licensing or whatever. Let's do national fascism. 105-day focus. I know I mentioned it earlier, but I'm still taken aback by it. We need a referendum? Yes, sir. The Bohemian Empire. Wow, okay. Under Yaroslav Krejci. He doesn't have any traits or anything. We don't necessarily need to do our focus to get Hungary. We can always just conquer them manually. It takes 210 days though. Never mind. Let's not do that. Let's do it through a focus instead. I guess we can design divisions. That's actually what we probably should be doing. Let's sign a medium tank division. So this is our light tank division. I don't really want to just like throw away the light tanks that we do have. So we might want to keep some of our current light tank divisions around. Just until maybe they're out of equipment, and then we get rid of them. Let's make a new division. Let's duplicate this. We'll call this the medium tanks. Let's see, so we're just gonna change all the light tanks to mediums. And we'll swap these for trucks. Support artillery, and maybe... I guess that's it. We can just, we'll just leave it at that. So what do we think of this division? Good soft attack, I guess. Low organization. That's a bit of a problem. We might want to maybe, instead of doing artillery, maybe we just do... Maybe we take those off. Maybe we just do regular trucks anyway. Because the organization is kind of low. 31.2 organization sounds a little better. Soft attack is still plenty. I think that's plenty. Now, each of these divisions is going to take 400 tanks. And we have, hopefully, how many do we have? We have 7. So we can do 2. We can reasonably expect to do 2 medium tank divisions. We also need only 200 trucks, 700 equipment. Okay, cool. Let's check out our units here. Let's pick 2 of these guys. Let's turn them into our medium tanks. Sounds good. Definitely interesting to consider that I even bothered to feel rushed towards making good divisions, when my plan was in fact to not fight Germany. I don't know why I was so worried about equipment and things like that. After all, assuming I intend to fight Hungary or someone weak like that, we really can get away with just infantry and artillery, and when it comes to fighting Germany, having a handful of tank divisions wouldn't be as important as ensuring that my infantry divisions were simultaneously strong enough to resist the Germans, and numerous enough to cover the very long front line that comes with the German war. This is the consequence of going in blind, but it does make for some good lessons about priorities and planning. The problem with becoming a German satellite, I think, is going to be that we will end up not being able to declare wars, right? So I think we want to do wars of aggression before we do German satellite. It's only a 35-day focus, so if we end up seeing that Germany's trying to do fate of Czechoslovakia and like literally annex us, we can quickly swap over to it and get it done before they annex us. Oh, rip, we lost Southern Slovakia. Rip our civs, I guess. Also, we're getting justified on. Okay, looks like Germany is coming for me, so I guess we have to actually do... I guess we actually do need to immediately go for the German satellite. Never mind about doing the wars of aggression first. Here comes national fascism. Hopefully I can complete the German satellite quickly enough to not get annexed. Only takes 35 days, whereas his focus is 75, I believe, so we should get this done first. We have plenty of guns, by the way, damn. I definitely did not, like... I didn't do a good job of planning our industry when it comes to deciding, like, how much stuff we need to get. So I ended up overproducing guns massively, which is, to be fair, having a stockpile of guns is not exactly a horrible thing, but still. We probably can also make a better tank, to be honest. Looking at how many tanks we've managed to produce, we probably can get away with making better tanks than this. Anyway, there's the focus. So we become a satellite. Okay, I see. So we're a satellite. This means that we can't declare wars. We give manpower. Okay, we can't get autonomy as quickly. License costs between Supreme Mastermind is 100%. So I could just license his tanks, eh? So if I could request license production, I can just be like, give me your tanks, and he'll just give them to me, eh? Although the funny thing is, they're all just light tanks, but I want to use mediums. He doesn't. He has mediums, but the Panzer IV, for example, is just like not very good. Okay, okay. Well, I guess we could still do the Polish question, right? So let's see what happens if we do the Polish question after we get Wars of Aggression. But will this stop him? Okay, now he's just doing reassert Eastern claims. Presumably, this focus that I did caused him to bypass fate of Czechoslovakia. I think that's probably what happened. So we can do Polish question, and I don't know what that is even going to do. Excited to find out though. I wonder if it's possible to, like, maybe through a civil war, to become a satellite before you have to give up Sudetenland and then keep it. Obviously, what we lost wasn't that crazy, except for the resources. That's the big thing that, like, us losing that was really painful. But, you know, we could just, like, live without it, I guess. I don't know. Okay, if we end up invading Poland, I wonder how Molotov-Ribbentrop is going to interact with that. That's going to be really weird. Again, I'm completely blind to this. I didn't do any test playthroughs or anything. I just said, you know what, we're just going to go blind and see how this goes. So I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm still really curious to see. Here's where this focus just gives us, like, this state or something. It is our claim, or is it our core? It's a core, wow, okay. So I guess it'd be funny if that's all we get out of this. Oh my god, they already refused. Okay, well. It was at this point that I became worried that I was basically just wasting my time, as the Germans were essentially just having a historical game while I sat and watched. In my head, I was taking notes of exactly what I should change to get my focuses done fast enough to make sure I could actually get something out of this little plan. I think we're gonna end up getting called into this war, and we're not gonna be able to do Polish question. This sucks, man. Let's see, hold on. Unless he doesn't call me in. Poland has to still exist for the next 3 days. Don't call me in, Germany. Here we go, here we go. The Polish situation, let's see what happens. I guess we'll also get our research slot. I gained the war goal. Okay, well, let's join the war, I guess. Turns out the hype I had around the Polish question was extremely anticlimactic. I assumed because it was an event that it would be special in some way, but it's just a war goal by other means. I'm starting to understand now why the Czechoslovak tree is so maligned. Wow, I got an encirclement. Aren't I badass, dude? Look at that sick encirclement. I should be able to lend-lease now, though, right? So can I lend-lease to the Germans and try to get some autonomy? Can I maybe ask him for control of my core? He would give me control of my core, but nothing else, probably. That makes sense. Sick. We got our core, boys. So worth. I'm gonna capitulate Poland. Look at this. Oh, yeah, dude. Let's go. I'm so helpful. Okay, this is a very weirdly shaped Czechoslovakia. We actually did get we got like 68 points towards getting free. Let's maybe offer a lend-lease and just give him all my guns. Because I have all these, I have like a bunch of extra guns. Doesn't say that I'll get any autonomy for it. Wow, we'd have to give a whole lot of stuff. Oh, I see, we just don't get any for the guns. Why don't the guns give any? I guess we can give our support equipment and our trucks maybe? Okay. And all the Polish guns? That doesn't, okay, guns don't give anything. Okay, interesting. Guns are not useful for getting any autonomy. And fuel? How about that? Fuel doesn't count either. Okay. Well, that's interesting still, though. We can maybe do an attaché to get passive autonomy gain, and then we can get our freedom. And then we can go after Hungary. The question is, Hungary will presumably join the Axis in the near future. Can we get our freedom and then attack, like, Hungary and Romania and kind of just be like, Germany's low, bro? I don't know. I kind of need to keep my political power to get freedom, so actually we're going to just have to let the mutinies happen, I suppose. What could possibly happen, right? What could possibly happen? Well, looks like some bad stuff is going to happen, but it is what it is. I suppose we can just keep going down our military technical institute path, so we can get like army modernization, get even better tanks. Let's probably stop training, because we don't have enough tanks to even get enough experience on, like, we don't have enough tanks to basically train properly, so we can't really get more experience. And most of our infantry is now at a good experience level. So let's just chill. I guess we can get mechanized, and then we can also get the new guns going. Sounds good. To save you some time, from here I basically just piggybacked onto Germany's invasion of France and the Benelux, and then, much later, produced enough support equipment to get my freedom, at which point I asked for occupation over some of East Poland, and then I simply justified on the Soviets, and we began our war for the East. It was around this time that I decided to restart and try this plan again, but with more success perhaps. I'm also going to skip over my second attempt, where I floundered in a civil war for a while, then invaded Hungary and got basically no participation, resulting in a very cursed set of borders, while still losing the Sudetenland anyway. It would be my third attempt as the Bohemian Empire that I'd actually see some real success. I had obtained that success by changing up my strategy away from becoming a protectorate, and instead just joining the Axis faction. Turns out that all these focuses around befriending the Germans are pointless when you can just manually become fascist via a civil war and then join the Axis and avoid all the German pressure towards you. Allow me to demonstrate. We're gonna do the same thing we did last time, where we're not gonna worry about tanks or anything. We're just gonna go like infantry and artillery, because it's a pretty good combo. We're not gonna worry about support equipment either, because we're not planning to become a subject, so we need support equipment. These things are related because I was thinking to use support equipment to lend lease to get instant max autonomy if we did become a subject. However, the plan has changed. We're gonna open up political discourse. Or do we want to prepare for civil war? I think we just prepare for civil war immediately, right? I think we just do that actually. That sounds good. Expand military support. And we can just keep clicking these expand military support buttons as much as we need to. I think these command loyalty buttons would just give us control of the general. And I think we're probably going to do that to keep Sergei Wojciechowski. I think that's how you say that name. Because this guy's pretty good. And then the other guys, I mean, well, this field marshal's also not bad, so we want to try to keep him. But at the same time, we can always train up new ones, right? There's United Population. Probably one of the most important focuses for the Czechs. Although you can get rid of it also in the communist path by taking like 3 focuses. You just get Czech socialism. It gets rid of it really easily. I guess the trade-off is that you have to go communist, which means that you're stuck with the Soviet Union. I guess the Soviet Union right in the beginning of the game against the German Reich right in the beginning of the game, the Soviet Union probably does win, but the Soviets kind of need time to build up. They're not so strong at the beginning. They get like rolled over by Germany in the very beginning of the game. So you might have trouble resisting if you're relying on the Soviets to keep you safe. There's United Population. We're gonna grab the strategic decisions now, just for the extra political power. And then we're gonna start the Civil War, once that's done. Yeah, done nice and early. And then I'll just join the Axis manually, and then we'll go for wars of aggression, and we can just get a Hungarian situation and attack Hungary with Germany. That should kind of keep us as friends, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think using the political power from this button, we're gonna probably take conscription. I guess we'll have to. I guess not mobilizing isn't so bad because we can always just go straight to war economy once we're fascists anyway. So we have 900 artillery saved up, 25,000 guns. I'm gonna siphon equipment one more time. I'm not sure how much of our equipment stockpile we're gonna get when the Civil War starts, so I'll just do it one more time, and then we'll get ready for Civil War. Oh crap, we're actually 2 high on stability. Wow, okay. I guess we expand civil support real quick then. That's good, it'll increase our fascism support. I'm just holding on to my political focus, by the way, because I want to grab Czech fascism, and we're like right on the cusp of being able to get it, so I'm willing to sacrifice a couple days to make it happen. So we're going to ignite the Civil War. Okay. And then, oh, I didn't get to click the button. Okay, hold on, wait. Reload me. I'm only gonna go back like 1 in-game hour. So it's not a big deal to go back 1 in-game hour. So we do have to click the surprise plan first, and then we click the Ignite Civil War button. So we're gonna do the surprise attack plan, and then ignite the Civil War. And then we're gonna swap all of our units over to be actually good units. Let's go aggressive, and let's just push in. We have to wait a second. We don't want to push in right away, because we have to wait until the guns get here. Because right now we don't currently have our men equipped with any other guns or anything. Let's just give it like a second. That's a tank. Why does he have tanks? Playing that one. A little bit concerned about that, to be frank. We have full planning bonus. I guess we can just go for it. Okay, it looks like the tanks probably don't have any equipment, so I think they'll just get killed. We'll do force attack and just push through as fast as we can. Oh right, we had the surprise attack, and then I just sat there getting my planning bonus. That was real smart of me. But this guy can just march through, it looks like. I think yeah, this seems to be going a lot better than the last Civil War that we did. We'd love to see that. That should end the Civil War, though. There we go, great. Now we just have to get 300,000 manpower, which, that's not too tough. I think we do Military Technical Institute? No, I do think we just do German appeasement right away. And let's join the faction if we can. Okay. Great. Although no, because we're already in the faction, right? So we don't even need to do that. I keep thinking about that, and then I keep on remembering I don't have to do it anymore. Actually, we're good. Instead, we just need to get Wars of Aggression, which we can get right after this focus. Because we're going to get 10% support, which will put us up to 50. And then we can get the Wars of Aggression. Perfect. Because I think what's going to happen now is he's going to eventually ask for Sudetenland. But maybe if we time it just right, when he asks, we can be together in a war against Hungary, and then he won't kick me out. Maybe. There's Wars of Aggression. And now, I think we can get the Hungarian situation. I think we actually want to do the Polish question first. Because then we can get into war against the Allies, and then Germany won't, like, demand the Sudetenland off me. Because we'll be to war together with the Allies. Right? Surely. Haven't even mobilized. That's so funny. Because we were using so much of our political power, I'm still on civilian economy. But to be fair, it hasn't really affected much. In fact, I'm not even using my factories right now, because I'm very smart. But it hasn't really affected me that much. We can raise consumption again. I'm absolutely going to do that, because we need the manpower. Okay. We can conquer Poland. I say we just go for it. First of all, though, can I do it by myself? Let's see. Do I need German support to do this? Looks like maybe not, because then I can just full annex Poland and Germany can't even do anything about it. Germany wants to join. I'm gonna not accept them joining. We're gonna do this ourselves, or at least we're gonna do a bunch of it ourselves at first, and then Poland, and then we can let them join if it ends up being the case that we can't push through ourselves. Okay, no, they just declared war. Okay, that is fair. They're just gonna declare war themselves. I mean, that's fine. I got a bunch of initial. I have 81% war participation. That's kind of nice, actually, that I get to have a bunch of the war participation right off the bat, thanks to starting the war and not really letting Germany join quickly. We're just going to send our men into battle as much as we can for the purpose of just getting participation, because we know we're going to win. It's not a matter of winning, it's a matter of getting more participation than Germany, although they already have quite a bit, so it's hard to outcompete them on participation. I'm going to go for Warsaw, try to end this war, basically. Okay, great, and that's the end of the war. Okay. Well, honestly, like, we can grab the steel, which is really nice. He really wants all this stuff, eh? Hopefully we can get away with taking it. Nice, okay. We just kind of partitioned Poland, it looks like. Although, what's happening here? Change government on Poland. In choice. I guess we'll let him do that. So we're gonna have, like, a weird sort of fascist Poland to help us out. There's no navy to grab, unfortunately. Yeah, so we've partitioned Poland with Germany. We've got South Poland. He's got the rest of Poland, and then he also made a weird Poland here, which is trying to make friends with Britain for some reason. They'll probably join our faction, but in the meantime, we can attack Hungary, I guess, who is now guaranteed by France. Okay, well, that's a good start, though, right? We're definitely not going to call Germany into the Hungary war, because there's no reason to. We can absolutely defeat Hungary ourselves. So then what we do then is we're going to attack Hungary around when the Munich Conference begins, and then hopefully they won't kick me out of the faction if we're in a war together is going to be the idea. Well, actually, because France is guaranteed we can declare war right away, because France we can attack and then call in Germany at the last minute so that they get to war with France. Let's do that. We're not going to call in any allies. Let's march. So that should get me to war with France. Now they can't do anything because we have no border, obviously. But then I will get the Germans to help me out once we've taken over all of Hungary, so that Germany can't get any pieces of Hungary. There's Hungary almost dead. There's Budapest. That's the end. Okay, great. And now we accept Hungary, or rather, Germany's call to arms. Our Bohemian Empire expands. We could justify a war goal on the Romanians, but we're actually, funnily enough, we guarantee them. They guarantee us. It's really funny. So I guess now we just continue our focus tree. I don't know what we do about Sudetenland, because they're still going to ask for it, but because we're in a faction together and we're in a war together, I'm pretty sure he'll just be chill. Right? So who might we fight next? I mean, I guess we can get on the French front line. We probably should just go on, like, the Netherlands and just fabricate, right? Or justify, rather. We can just do this. Like, we can just kind of accelerate the whole World War II thing. Now, I don't think I can actually attack from here, because Germany's not... Oh, I can, actually. Okay, wow. Sick. So that means I get the occupations, which is great. Although I have no coast, so I don't know what I'm expecting here. Okay. So if I do this, I'm going to leave the faction, apparently. Can I just rejoin? Yes. Okay. What's going to happen here? I think we just don't have to deal with the Sudetenland problem now, because we just rejoined immediately. That is indeed what has happened, and it has now become abundantly clear to me why the Czech tree is not well loved. The game just kinda doesn't know what to do with a player on Czechoslovakia. From here on, we do get to enjoy a permanent partnership with the Germans, despite their territorial grievances with us, and that means that we can drag around our monstrous German ally as a club to beat on anyone that we want, which is quite useful. How are our casualties doing? So far we've taken 9,000 casualties, and I imagine we've inflicted a lot more than that. 20,000 on Hungary, and how much against Netherlands? 8,000? What about against Poland? Oh, they're already, well, that was a separate war, so that doesn't even factor into things. So I guess now we grab national fascism. So I guess at this point now we're playing a pretty normal, like, Axis game, except we're playing as the Czech Republic. See if we can end World War II real fast. The problem is I don't really have a navy, so I can't exactly wrest control of the English Channel or anything to go and land in the UK. But maybe we can start making an air force of naval bombers? Maybe that's what we do, and then we just bomb the hell out of the English Channel until we have superiority. Let's get working on some naval bombing then. We're gonna want air-launched torpedoes for that, I think. I assume anyway. Let's see if we could just march into France real quick. Imagine capitulating France by like before 1939. We go pretty hard. In fact, I'm just gonna click these guys. You guys just get in there, get to Paris. Nice, marching into Paris now. Beautiful. That should capitulate France. At least it should soon anyway. There it is. Okay, great. How much participation do I have now? 28%? Alright. So I didn't get any occupations, which makes sense. I mean, that probably should go to Germany. But I wonder if I can ask him for some, because we have a lot of participation. If I were to say, ask for control of state, he'd be willing to give me, like, the Netherlands. That sounds pretty good. I can take Alsace-Lorraine. It's so cursed that I kind of have to do it, don't I? In fact, he's willing to give me quite a bit of France. I guess we do this to get the resources. Amazing. The thing is, do I actually get the resources? It looks like I do. And then plan the naval invasion of Britain. It looks like there's actually no one in the English Channel right now. Ooh. I have no convoys though, so I can't even do this. I guess, can I ask for a lend-lease? I get some convoys? I guess actually we do have some now that I see this. Where did we get these convoys from? I don't know. Do I just not even have tech for landing? Is that what? Oh, see, I didn't even have transport ship. Oh, okay, that's the problem. Research that then. I understand now. So we did actually get some convoys. So research that. For now though, we're gonna alter the cavalry brigade and add military police to it. And just make it a big cavalry unit. Just so we can use this to suppress any resistance. That's good enough. I don't want to spend too much armor tradition on it, so we'll do this. Guys, see, it consumes a lot less manpower per suppression, and it also consumes less production. So once we get the transport technology, we can go for a naval invasion. National fascism is done. So for valuable German partner, there's something I'm curious about. I can't leave the faction because now we're in a war together, so that makes sense. But I was gonna say, I wonder, like, obviously we're already in the faction, so we can just bypass this focus. But if we were to have not been in the faction, would this have given something different? I don't know. That's bypassed. We're not going to deliver the sedate line because there's no reason to. I guess we just go for maybe like the Aeronautical Institute, because we're going to be doing planes, right? So that sounds good. He's doing Molotov-Ribbentrop right now, which is really funny. If we were to justify on the Soviets, how long would it take? Can we just go conquer the Soviets? It would take 10 days. I could like release Ukraine, and then we could get a bunch of cores for Ukraine from the Soviets. I think though that right now we probably couldn't fight the Soviets. I don't actually know, maybe we can. We're rooting out unrest. We gotta get collaboration governments going. Gotta take down the Soviets. So never mind about trying to naval invade London, at least for now. Maybe later once we actually get our naval bombers going, but it's gonna be a while till we have that, so give it a bit. Ooh. So wait, I get to decide? What is happening, man? What is happening? So I got the event where I get to decide. So this is probably going to cause war, I guess? Yeah, Poland is ours, dude. Okay, I think we're about to go to war with the Soviets. But I'm down. I'm ready. I'm here for it. Let's see, are they gonna go to war? Oh, they're doing the office plan. Okay. This is such a strange game. I won't lie. There's a lot of strange stuff happening right now. There's a naval invasion happening in Calais. Okay. I'm sure the Germans can handle that. Oh, there's the war. Okay. The war begins. We immediately have to call in the Germans if we want to have any chance at this. And now I think we do, like, the unyielding defense and just hope that we can hold them. Also, Romania joins the war. Okay. Cool. Will this be an easy capitulation on the Soviets, maybe? We just immediately counter push? Like, I think we want to hold for a while. Let's maybe get an idea of how good their infantry is against ours. It looks like ours kind of beats theirs pretty easily. Not easily. It looks like... No, okay, it doesn't easily beat it. I think we don't push. I think we hold for a while. I think this is going to be a stalemate front. I don't imagine that we're going to be able to actually push here, nor can they push against us. I'm going to try pushing for just like a second and see how the bubbles look. Okay, it's all red, so let's not do that. I'm still on civilian economy, by the way. Holy... Let's fix that. Let's go to like war economy. I can't do total mobilization because it would be to take away too much manpower, but we can at least do this. They're pushing into us, and I mean we're winning. They went for a naval invasion over here. Okay, looks like they might actually get in. Okay, they got in there. Surely I can trust the Germans to, you know, hold their own, right? Surely. Every time I hear that naval invasion sound, it's always so scary. It's okay. Looks like the Soviets are kind of just throwing people away because they keep on doing the naval invasion where they also take the coastal states that don't have ports and they just get killed for it. So if we were to look at the casualties on the Soviets, they might already be quite high. Yeah, 250,000. That's pretty high for just starting. Also, the Germans are pushing. I guess we can push with them. Let's even force attack. Screw it. Let's go all in. Let's see if we can march to Moscow with our collaboration governments. It's interesting when they don't have the Baltic states because it does actually make the front more narrow. And more narrow is kind of good, to be honest. Like, we appreciate a narrow front. It's taken a lot of casualties here. Wow. Is this the meta for the Axis? You just attack earlier? It's September 1939, and we're already making our way into like the heart of Russia. This guy can probably get infantry leader. Yeah, infantry expert. We love to see that. We can give him a infantry specialist, maybe. I mean, to be honest with you, since we don't already have one, kind of down for that. Infantry specialist. He's not super skilled, but he might get more skill over time, and that is a nice bonus. How's our collaboration government going? Gonna take a while to finish. Unfortunately, it does take a while to do these collaboration governments, but even just one does a lot of work for you against Soviets. If you can get like 3 of them, though, then I mean, you can capitulate them by just taking like Moscow and Stalingrad, and you're done. But with one, at least we probably won't have to go all the way to like Perm. We can maybe stop at like Gorky or Kazan, and with 2, I think Moscow, Leningrad, and Stalingrad probably would be enough. I think before this war ends, it's an interesting idea. I think we do actually want to release Ukraine as a puppet, so that we can then give all this land to Ukraine, like for much cheaper in the peace deal. Sounds kind of nice, honestly. See, when it comes to pushing in Russia, I don't really have much to say because I'm basically just battle planning it, but we're just kind of hoping that this continues to go well. Because I don't have any tanks, it's hard to do like some clever maneuver warfare and end up like doing encirclements. Normally what you would do with the Soviets is that you have all this flat terrain, so you take your mechanized, and you take your motorized, and you take your tanks, and you like kind of do some smart plays where you try to encircle certain pockets of troops. But my entire army is all infantry, so I can't really do a lot of like speedy plays. I am going to grab Logistics Wizard, by the way, which is insanely good, because supply consumption down means that fighting in the middle of winter is much easier. We got Krasnodar, which is important because it's a supply hub. We're going to go down to Novorossiysk, which we're hopefully going to use to get control of the port, and that should give this guy like no supply, although Kerch is also here. Maybe we go there to try and grab Kerch. We're approaching Moscow. I'd zoom in more, but the sound of the combat is really loud, and I could turn it down, but I don't want to mess with my audio bounce, so I don't like to zoom in too much. We're about to take Moscow. Here we go. There it is. Moscow down. Does that invalidate my collaboration government? It does not. That's good. We definitely still have a ways to go. We're going to need Stalingrad. We're going to need Leningrad. We're probably going to need Kazan and Gorky. Leningrad is so sad when he doesn't have Karjala, like he doesn't have this extra bit of land. Leningrad feels so like sad and isolated. See, we can conscript more, but I don't think we're going to. I'm still going to grab the elusive gentleman. Get another agent. Turn right to declare war on Luxembourg. Wow. I guess, yeah, I never did declare war on Luxembourg, did I? There you go. There goes Luxembourg. This river is going to be a pain to cross, but oh, it looks like actually no, it won't be. You can just force attack through it. Force attack is just like so good, honestly. I love using it. I killed these 4 guys myself. So what force attack does, in case you don't know, is it just stops you from losing organization while you're attacking, which means that you end up taking a lot of equipment damage because your men aren't going to stop attacking when they're like losing. But it means that you can just kind of force your way through an enemy. It'll cost you men, it'll cost you equipment, but then you can actually win the battle, and it's totally worth it because it means we can take care of Leningrad and not have to worry about it anymore. You can just get back to, you know, doing regular conventional warfare. Because normally you gotta kind of siege those places, and it's really annoying to like siege down a big city because you have to like surround it, and it's hard to surround it when it's in the corner like that. But now we're good. Still have 18% participation. That's more than Italy, more than Romania. The nice thing about these agents is that by having them build a spy network, we're reducing the bonus that the Soviets can get from having planning, and also the bonus they can get from having, I think, from having garrison, or what is it called, entrenchment. I think. Not certain of that, but I believe that's the case. I guess now we can just go on like arms exports. I mean, like in terms of focuses, like we finished all the air focuses, so we have all the production bonuses and all that stuff for air, but I don't really know what else to do, and we could go down like the army experience focuses, but I'm kind of happy with my current divisions. Get the improved small airframe, and then we'll start making our naval bombers, I promise. No, I keep saying that, but we'll make them, don't worry. I'm going to delete my front line, I'm going to make a new one. I want to focus on pushing through Kazan and Gorky. So, or maybe we already took Gorky, never mind. I'm focused on pushing through Kazan into Ufa. So I'm going to draw a new front line that's a little bit thinner, like this. And then we'll draw a line all the way to Chelyabinsk and Sverdlovsk. And when they capitulate, don't forget, we have to release Ukraine. In fact, I'm just going to do it now, so I don't forget later. We're going to release Ukraine as a puppet. We can retain the states with our cores, because that's cool. There we go, so that just releases that. Then I'm going to try to reduce their autonomy as much as I can by just building in them. We're probably going to have to push to Chelyabinsk, aren't we? It is what it is. I doubt we have enough time to get like the max level collaboration government, so we are going to have to probably push past the Ural Mountains, which is annoying. Maybe Perm actually will be enough. Actually only worth 1 victory point. What? You'd think it'd be an important city looking at it, but I guess it's not. It is a supply hub. There's something to be said for that, but there's a victory point, so it's not worth very much. Dealt 632,000 casualties to the Soviets. They've only dealt, it looks like, 173,000 to me. It's pretty good. Adaptable, we love to see this. Adaptable is just like really good because it just makes you better in all terrain. And that's, you know, how could that ever be a bad thing? This guy's kind of a legend, to be honest. Let's look at his stats. He's 8, 3, 4, 5, and he's got all these cool traits which he earned from fighting in these terrains and stuff. If we look at him, he's got the infantry leader, which he got from leading infantry, of course. Organizer. And then he's got ranger and winter specialist. He started with winter specialist, and we gave him winter expert, which is good because everything is cold here. With ranger, he's better in forests. There's lots of forests in Russia. And then adaptable means he's better in all terrain, which is just great. He's kind of like perfect for invading Russia, actually. It's kind of insane. You think it'd be harder to get through here, but I guess like these Russian troops just don't have any, like, they're not very good troops, I guess. They're not good divisions. Let's see if we can just walk around and grab the victory points. Oh, is that the end? Hold on, it's an autosave. I thought for a second we got the capitulation. Whenever my game lags out, I know something major is happening, but that was just the autosave. That was not, in fact, a capitulation. How close are we, though? We should be, like, really close. Yeah. 1% more, and then they capitulate. Basically, it's a matter of either waiting for the collab government to finish, or it's a matter of occupying just a couple more places. Like, even random tiles. It doesn't have to even necessarily be, like, proper cities. We could occupy just random tiles, and that would get us a bit closer. Let's see if I can get a little more occupation before the war ends. The reason why I want more occupation is because the more stuff we occupy, the cheaper it is to take in the peace deal. In fact, I think I want to grab stuff that's in the Caucasus, because we can actually, like, take it ourselves and use the resources here. I would like Baku for the oil. So maybe we go like this. That's kind of funny, I like it. Look at that. That's beautiful. I think that's the peace deal, isn't it? That must be it, right? Surely. Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. So, here's what we want to do. We're going to go over to Ukraine. I'm going to give them all their cores. Which, basically, if it's cheap, it means it's a core, I'm pretty sure. Okay, it tells me what the cores are. Okay, cool. So we can see what the cores are. So I think Crimea is not a core for them. Cringe. I believe this is all of their cores, I want to say. Am I missing anything? Looks good. Then I can personally maybe make some puppets. I think I want to conquer the... Like, I want to conquer kind of like a line to the Caucasus, I think is what I want to do. I think this is all that I'll take. I don't really want to try to compete, like, for more. I think I want to maybe Rostov so I can connect my land more nicely. But beyond that, I don't really want to take more than this. I do... Oh, I also need the Soviet Navy. I do need this... Oh, there's no available Navy. Okay, rip. Somebody else must have already taken it. That's cringe. I believe we can get all of this. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Is there anything else I want to try to compete for? We could try to get the Chromium and Stavropol. It would also look better on the map, so sure, let's do that. Maybe we can get it. Maybe not. Looks like no, we can't. Okay, that's fine. In that case, we call it there, I think. It doesn't mean the Soviet Union got to live on over here, which is really funny, because the Germans didn't take it. I think we can just justify again, right? Just go and conquer that little piece again. Which means actually I can take this, which is really funny. Turns out this game actually has truces, and on account of that, I can in fact not conquer the Soviets for at least a few months, and by the time the truce ends, I will have completely forgotten about conquering them, so we shall swiftly move on. But yeah, there we go. That's Bohemia right there. It's a huge Bohemia. We can build in Ukraine to reduce their autonomy. Now we can focus on the allies. Obviously, Germany's going to be like massively powerful. And I need to make Navy bombers, right? Yes, okay. We have the improved small airframe. Some we have the naval bomber weapons, perfect. So I'm not really sure how to build planes very well, to be totally honest. Like, I don't really know what makes them good and what makes them bad. I'm just going to try and make something with high numbers, I guess. I guess we don't need these because we're not actually using this for cast. We're just using it for... Like, will that affect our ability to do naval bombing? So if we look at naval strike, we would be doing 13. If I add cast weapons, do we do more? No, we don't. So actually, we don't want to even do that. We just put the naval torpedo on and that's it. 34 production to make this, probably because of the engine. We probably don't need that good of an engine. Let's instead do like 1 engine times 2. That cuts the production by a lot. And then I think we can get away with it. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Let's start building these. We need a lot of these. We're also gonna need like regular fighters. I think we're also gonna just get like, you know, an improved small airframe and just put some guns on it. Put a lot of guns on this thing so I can just shoot things out of the sky. Probably can get away with 1 engine. Okay, good. That was good to me. That'll be our basic fighter. Let's go like 10 and 10, and then we probably can take most of our stuff off of the guns and the artillery. We don't have any rubber, unfortunately, and we can't really trade for very much. We're probably gonna have to get the tech that lets us get rubber out of synthetic oil. There's the Independence Day of Croatia. Kind of unfortunate. I would have liked to actually have his occupations myself, but it's fine. I think I'm just gonna right-click onto Athens and hope that we win. Doesn't sound like too bad of an idea, to be honest. Yep, right-clicking Athens does seem to work. And that's basically all Greece occupied. You just right-click Athens and you just win. They have not capitulated yet, but I suspect they will very soon. Once we take Patras, I think they will. Maybe they did capitulate, I just didn't notice. I think they did capitulate and I just didn't notice. Okay, there we go. That's that. So that's good that we've kind of wiped up all the continental enemies there. So somebody is still over here, and apparently they're making some conquests. Oh my goodness. Their continued existence is quite something. We could try to take over Africa. I think, honestly, we might actually end the run pretty soon, just because, like, the purpose of this run was to play around as Bohemia and just see what we could do by becoming friends with the Soviets. And it's kind of crazy what you can do, actually, because you can kind of guide the Germans along a better path than they would otherwise go. It allows you to do this kind of thing. My plan from here was to use Iran and Iraq as land connections into Africa so I could continue the campaign. However, I was getting a bit fatigued by this point, and after running into some difficulty in the Zagros Mountains, I was feeling more and more like accepting the already pretty cool little empire we put together with Ukraine. The invasion of the Iranians should be really easy. This will get us a front with the British Raj, by the way, so maybe we can go and occupy India. That would be pretty insane. Also, we should get doctrines, because we have a lot of stuff for that right now. I think, though, at this point, to be honest, I think I'm kind of... I mean, I feel a little bit, honestly, like, done with the playthrough at this point. Also, the Reichskommissariat Turkestan is funny to me. I don't know why that's making me laugh. But I think this was kind of the objective of this playthrough was ultimately to, like, try out playing as, like, a submissive Bohemian Empire. But we ended up more being an assertive Bohemian Empire in a way. It did not go how I thought it was going to go. Because originally the plan was to just become a subject in order to try and avoid the Sudetenland being taken, but you can kind of avoid it by just like joining a faction, you refuse it, and then they kick you out because they want to get the Sudetenland off of you, and then you just like rejoin the day after because the AI doesn't get a modifier to make them not want to let you in. So it's really interesting, like playing as Bohemia and just kind of like pushing the access to a huge power boost. I think what caused this is that we attacked the Soviets like super early, and as scary as the Soviets can be for the Germans, ultimately the Soviets kind of get more powerful the longer the game takes. So the fact that we were able to attack them right away meant that things went really well. I do really like the strategy of releasing Ukraine. First of all, because of current events, it's always nice to see Ukraine on the map. But second of all, because they have all these cores, which means that you can take it in the peace deal for super cheap. So you guarantee yourself like a nice section of land that you can actually hold, and then you use the rest of your war score to get stuff like, I got the Caucasus here, right? A lot of raw materials here. Unfortunately, our industry is just not big enough that we really need all the materials. Like we have all this oil, and it's kind of just like there. We don't really need the fuel. What we needed was rubber, and I don't know if there's actually any rubber. Like there might be some synthetics factories in the USSR that could give us rubber, but there's not really much available like anywhere on the map really. We'd have to get down to like, you know, Indochina or something for that. But regardless, I had a lot of fun playing this. I am going to stop it here, though. Not because anything's doomed, I'm more just tired of the playthrough. I kind of got what I wanted out of it. So that was Czechoslovakia. I had some growing pains at first learning the ins and outs of their focus tree, but with some time and with some planning, I was able to create a Bohemian empire partnered with Ukraine that stretched from Prague to Baku. This nation, given enough time to assemble more military factories, could use its immense cache of chromium and steel to make an amazing set of tanks and fuel them with Azeri oil, but I'm not looking to keep this run going any longer, and therefore, I'm ending it here. I'm pretty impressed with how well it went, and I may try more Czechoslovakia runs in the future, either democratic or communist perhaps. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one. Thank you for your time.